Alec Rowley, to be followed by Angus MacDonald. Mr Rowley, please.
Presiding Officer, I very much welcome this debate today and the route map brought forward by the Scottish Government to transform Scotland's buildings to become warmer, greener and more efficient. The fuel poverty roadmap is a step in the right direction. In particular, it is welcome that the Government are consulting on regulations to require private rented sector homes to be rated Energy Performance Certificate C by 2030. However, it fails to live up to the Government's promise to make energy efficiency a national infrastructure project with no significant financial commitment, a lack of any detail on how homeowners can improve their energy efficiency of their homes, and no mention of the unique struggles faced by rural communities across Scotland. In other words, it is a map that shows you where you want to go, but is short on detail of how we are going to get there. I believe we must be more ambitious when it comes to ending Scotland's fuel poverty shame.
Minister.
For taking intervention. I'll keep this brief. I just want to emphasise that a number of members have referenced the lack of specific reference to rural housing in the document. We're talking about initiatives to help 100% of properties in each property category in terms of private rented and the various categories. So I hope that helps explain why that is the case. We're trying to deal with 100% of properties, and that obviously, clearly, as a rural member, includes my own constituency, Mr Rowley's.
Alec Rowley.
I do think that given the impact of rural fuel poverty, which I'll say more about, then it needed to be in that document far more, and that's perhaps something the Minister can address. But as Age Scotland has said, almost 6 in 10 single pensioners and 4 in 10 pensioner couples live in fuel poverty in Scotland, with those in rural areas most affected. Age Concern Scotland continues to be concerned at the continuing prevalence of excess winter deaths, with 2,720 recorded in 2016-17. There was a significant increase in excess winter deaths among people aged 85 and over, with 1,430 additional deaths compared to 970 in 2015-16, according to National Records of Scotland. Indeed, the World Health Organization estimate that around 30% of these excess winter deaths could have been avoided if everyone in Scotland lived in a home that was adequately insulated and heated. Is that not why this Scottish Parliament was created? To be able to tackle these big social and economic issues impacting on people of Scotland. Scottish Labour are committed to ending poor energy performance as a driver of fuel poverty, and we believe the Government's proposals fall short in a number of areas. Scottish ministers designated energy efficiency as a national infrastructure priority in 2015, but the level of funding available pales into insignificance compared to funding for other infrastructure projects. There is a commitment to continue funding fuel poverty and energy efficiency programmes and to continue multi-year funding, but no new or additional monies is planned. The plan provides barely no detail on how the Government will support private landlords and homeowners to reach the targets outlined. If householders are to be active participants in improving the energy efficiency of their homes, financial and fiscal incentives are needed. One such suggestion comes from Age Scotland, where they call on the Government to explore whether improvements in order to meet energy efficiency standards should be eligible for a reduction on their council tax. I would merely suggest we need to look at how we're going to support people if we seriously want to eradicate fuel poverty from Scotland. It is deeply worrying that there is no mention of rural homes in the roadmap, which we've discussed, and they face unique challenges in preventing fuel poverty because of their use of off-grid fuel. We have asked the Government to give priority to fuel poor households, particularly remote and rural communities. As Scottish Renewables said in their briefing, the roadmap has little detail on how the programme will accelerate the rollout of renewable heat, particularly in off-gas grid areas, which we regard as a missed opportunity given recent policy changes and the eventual closure of the renewable heat incentive in 2021. Labour has called for a Warms Homes Bill to tackle fuel poverty, and we welcome the SNP's commitment to take this forward. However, the Warm Homes Bill has been renamed the Fuel Poverty Scotland Bill, with no guarantee that it will include provisions to improve energy efficiency. The Minister might want to answer this point in closing. The recent announcement by UK Labour to invest £2.3 billion per year to provide financial support for households to insulate homes and for local authorities to drive up and deliver insulation schemes show the scale of the ambition that is needed. We recognise the benefits that this would bring, not only in terms of fuel poverty, but also in terms of jobs and the economy. Last year, Labour signed a letter along with other opposition parties in this Parliament calling on the Government to, among other actions, establish a goal to end poverty, poor energy performance as a driver of fuel poverty. Set a target to get the vast majority of homes rated at EPC C by 2025-2030 and prioritise fuel-poor households, particularly in remote and rural communities. So, Presiding Officer, the message today must be that this is us on the right track, but we must be far more ambitious if we have to end the blight of fuel poverty in Scotland.